Welcome back to the Michigan Business Beat, brought to you on the Michigan Business Network. Chris Holman here, coming to you from the Grand Hotel, where the Detroit Regional Chamber of Commerce is holding their annual policy conference. And we have with us Courtney Phillips. Courtney, it's good to have you here. And you are with, I want to make sure I get this right, you're Secretary Treasurer for the United Food and Commercial Workers Union of Grand Rapids.
Yes, Local 951.
Yeah, so tell us a little bit about that.
So we are the largest private sector union in the state of Michigan. We represent close to 30,000 workers in the food and service industry. So like your Meijer, grocery clerks, those are our members, Kroger, Rite Aid. We also represent a meat processing plant in Plainwell, Michigan, a cheese factory in Hoppa, Michigan.
So those unions were all voted in by the workers, right? That's how it happened. So what are the issues? What do you deal with kind of on a day-to-day basis?
You know, on a day-to-day basis, most of our representatives are out there helping educate and enforce the contract, whether it's scheduling issues or wage concerns or really even dignity and respect. That becomes a large thing for a lot of workers, is that they want to go to work and they want to feel appreciated and they want to feel like they have the autonomy and the support of their leadership. So,
And you have how many members?
close to 30,000 workers.
All right. Now you are in Grand Rapids, but your organization is kind of statewide.
Yeah, so our Meyer members are the entire state of Michigan, including the UP, and then our national jurisdiction for that is like kind of Ludington across Lansing and down. So we have Hardings and Kroger's in Rite Aid and other employers that are in that West Michigan area. So
Okay. And how's the relationship with management?
it's always a working partnership. And so, like, there's going to be plenty of times where we can agree to not.
Like both sides working at it.
Yeah, we're both working at it. And I think there's always opportunity to keep working at it. But, sometimes you got to agree to disagree and you got to go through our processes that are negotiating our collective bargaining agreements. Sometimes you work together and you get resolution and it's a win-win for our members.
Now you've been doing this labor thing for a while.
Yeah, I've been with UFCW for about 20 years.
Well, you should have an idea what's going on.
I try.
So what's next? You growth to other industries or more of the same? Or?
So organizing opportunities come up all the time. I think right now is a great time to organize. I think workers are really interested in learning about how do they get a collective bargaining agreement with guaranteed rights. We did just last week get a tentative agreement for one of our newest cannabis retailers down in Southwest Michigan. And so we're very excited about that. And we continue to grow in different ways with different industries, but always keeping true to our core, which is food and service.
Yeah, gotcha. It's interesting you mentioned that respect thing. And a lot of times that's simply the culture of the corporate. You got to be feeling you're a big part of shaping a culture.
I think we are. And I think that, I teach a lot of my reps that you can walk into a unit and you can feel a negative culture, but with the right amount of energy and education and kind of working our members to find the resolution, like change the culture of that environment too.
Well, and so tell me a little bit about the demographic of your member. Is it all over the board, the ages and the backgrounds?
Yeah, so unlike other unions, we do represent workers from 15 of age to 85 and everything in between. And I think that's really exciting because you get a lot of different perspectives and a lot of different each generation has their own concerns and their own needs within their work environment. And so I think that keeps us on our toes, but it's a very cool an interesting membership base.
Well, and I was going to say that probably does keep you on your toes because the difference between this union member and this union member and how they feel rewarded and their perspective is very different. I harken back to when I talked to a business owner and he said, we finally figured out, our Z generation. It was rock concert tickets.
Oh,
You know what I
yeah,
mean?
no, it's true.
Yeah.
Like why people show up for work are very different when you're 15 years old and when you're 35 years old and when you're 55 years
Yeah.
old, right? And I think that, making sure that we negotiate strong collective bargaining agreements that represent all of our workers is really important, and being able to have something for everybody is really important.
So what's your footprint geographically?
Oh, in Michigan, like I said, Meyer members we represent across the state, including the UP, and then geographically in Southwest Michigan, we have our multi-employer group.
So given your, I guess your bylaws, are you able to go to other states and organize?
So we do not have jurisdiction to go to other states. We stick within our jurisdiction in Michigan. So
Well, we're glad we're keeping you here in Michigan.
we are happy to be here in Michigan. Yeah.
Well, it's very good to have you on here, Courtney Phillips, who is the Secretary Treasurer of the United Food and Commercial Workers Union of Grand Rapids. And I'm telling you, everybody learned a whole lot.
I hope so.
They really did. Thanks for being here. Appreciate
you.
it. All right. I'm Chris Holman, and you're watching the Michigan Business Beat on the Michigan Business Network, which happens to be on Mackinac Island today. We're at the Grand Hotel, and we are coming to you from the Detroit Regional Chamber of Commerce's annual policy conference. And we will be back with more.